Welcome back to Day Planner. We are tracking heavy rain and storms on the radar today, where we could see the worst of it and when things will start to dry out. Plus, a major warm-up is on the way for the northern plains and also the upper Midwest. Who could see the mercury hit close to 30 degrees above average? And is winter on its way out? Details in your full winter weather update at 50 past the hour. First, though, here is Todd with more on the rain and storm. Thanks so much, Todd, and more warm air is in store for a lot of you this week. And with all of the mild weather this winter, it probably doesn't surprise you to hear about unfrozen lakes up north or spring flowers blooming in winter. But this mild winter has also led to something else, and this may be a shocker. And don't forget, female cats aren't doing the mild thing by themselves. It's also important to fix the boys. Besides, when you do that, they'll give all their love to you in any kind of way. And so we hope all of you do the right thing now. No matter what the weather, get those cats and dogs fixed. Todd, speaking of getting fixed, that's not in your future. Much, Todd. And coming up on Day Planner, there's a bit of a wintry mix falling over Oklahoma. Mark. Well, as we look ahead to the weekend, while some of you will see some spring, really next week is when we're going to be seeing it pop out. As we go, though, into Saturday, notice this, still that same system that is bringing us rain today, very slow mover, and we'll find more of this rain across Texas, Oklahoma, stretching into Louisiana. Texas, you need the rain. I'm just a little bit concerned, though, about flooding, because after 5 days of rain, well, that can really add up, and that can cause some issues on the roadways. We're looking here at Saturday at temperatures, well, you know, not too bad for this time of the year, but you'll see a big warm-up starting on Sunday and then continuing really to Good Thursday to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Day Planner. I'm Heather Tesch along with Todd Santos. Heavy rain and storms stretching from Texas to the Great Lakes. And for most of you, it's not going anywhere soon. So have those umbrellas handy for a while. This is the same system that pounded Wichita, Kansas with hail. The 40s. In fact, here's what we've had. We've had the nice upswing of the roller coaster, and today, you know, we're going to be topping out close to 70 degrees. But then we see the bottom falling out, and notice tomorrow 46, and then Saturday only a high of 40 degrees. But we will climb the ladder once again, and we will find later in the week, next week, that we'll find those temperatures rising back into the 60s. We're going to continue to see, you know, variations as fronts pass on through, cool things down, and then warm up ahead of the next one. Temperatures looking at today, we've really got beautiful weather. I really hope you're going to take a little bit of your day and spend it outside. Tomorrow, as we watch the front come through today, tomorrow we've got those much cooler conditions, and really everywhere we're finding only 30s and 40s. DC and some of these areas in the mid-Atlantic, you'll find your temperatures in the 50s. And as we continue to go into Saturday, we're talking cool conditions. These are the highs. We've kind of gotten used to these being the lows because we've had such a mild winter. I wanted to take you into next week, because look at Sunday and then wow, look at as we go into Monday and Tuesday. We're going to see warmth just smothering the country. Todd? And we're taking a look at the big picture, and you see a big dip here in the jet stream, and what we have is an upper level low that's just going to very slowly kind of meander across the country. And we're going to find that associated with that, we've got a lot of rain. And we've been seeing that here right along this frontal system. And you can bet it's still going to be there as we look ahead down the path the next several days. It will kind of flatten out, though, you notice, but we're still finding rain in Texas, and that will spread eastward. So you're going to see it here throughout the southeast, and ultimately you're going to see a little more of it driving northward. That is swinging through, and it's going to take these temperatures and drop them. So going from today and into tomorrow, you're going to notice it. Our front swings on through, cools it off throughout this area, and tomorrow you're going to find that when you wake up in the morning, you'll definitely need to wear a jacket, something warmer than you did today. And we look here, 45 is the high on Saturday. But we will find that that's kind of where we bottom out, and then the temperatures start to rise as we go down the line, and you can see that we'll return into the 50s and then 70s as we go into next week. Todd?
To folks who did the long drive and you say,
Yes.
oh, we're in Florida, and you touch the water and like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's a little chilly.
It certainly. And, you know, of course, there are so many spring breakers out there now. We've got those students. They're trying to find a good destination to head to. So joining us now live on the phone, Heather Hunter, and she is with AAA. Hello, Heather. Welcome back to Day Planner. We are tracking heavy rain and storms on the radar that will last right on into the weekend, creating a major flood potential for some folks. So on the rundown today, where we could see some of the worst of it and when things will start to dry out. Plus, a major warm up is on the way for the northern plains and the upper Midwest. Who could see those numbers close to 30 degrees above average? And is winter on its way out? Well, details in your full winter weather update at 50 past the hour. Plus, your 7-day outlook just around the corner. Here's Todd first, though, with the rain and 60s in Minneapolis, and you're going to share the wealth too, because we've got that warm air building across much of the Midwest, and that is what's going to allow those very warm temperatures. So this is a look at the conditions that we will see here tomorrow, and you can see a lot of areas running well above average. Rapid City 24 degrees above average with that high temperature close to 70 degrees. Hard to believe, but then again, we've been experiencing this Wisconsin. We also find your temperatures running way above average as we move into our Saturday. And then as we go into Sunday, we'll see a little bit more of this as we look southward across the country. In fact, Amarillo, what's interesting is we're going to find that
very foggy morning yesterday. Today, not as bad, but the roads are still pretty damp.
Mild conditions, much more spring-like. And I also want to talk about next week, because look at how warm it is going to be in so many areas, still running way above average as we continue. So Todd, this is just ongoing, and I know you have more details on this extended forecast as we look at our 7-day planner. Because spring is just a little ways away, and you know, it doesn't seem like we've had a winter at all. Well, coming up, as we just saw, more warm air in store for a lot of folks this week. And with all of the mild weather this winter, really it doesn't surprise you probably to hear about those unfrozen lakes up north or spring flowers blooming a month ahead of schedule. But you know, this mild winter has also led to something that you've probably never thought about. Also, you know, if cost is something that you're concerned about, you know, just do a little research on the internet and you will be able to find low-cost programs, because they are out there for spaying and also neutering. Well, let's look now to something else. Folks get a little frisky out there on the beaches as well, don't they? The weekend, not too far away. As we watch, you know, you'll notice that Texas, you continue to see rain coming in. And, you know, we love to see the rain in Texas, but when you get 5 days of rain, you know, some spots could get 7 inches of rainfall. We're also going to see it in some of the surrounding areas. That's Saturday. As we look to the temperatures, well, we do have some cooler air that'll be around this weekend. And, you know, you'll find that in some spots in the Northeast as we are into Saturday, but other places are already on that warming trend, and we'll continue to follow that warming trend as we work our way into Sunday. As we see more of that wet weather sliding northward, we're going to see more of the warmth sliding eastward. As we watch the front, though, coming through, that's going to change things as we work from today into tomorrow. And you'll find the temperatures are dropping. Now, these aren't the overnight lows. These are actually going to be the high temperatures that we are following as we go into tomorrow and then into Saturday. You can still see some of the cool air around, but there's some warm air that's moving in, and that's what a lot of you will be waiting for and watching. We are going to find by Sunday. Here's a look at it, but watch this as we go into Monday. Boom, a lot of
The working world.
Yes.
Oh, back in
I know,
college.
you know, college kids, high school kids, you don't know how easy you have it when you get all these breaks. But, you know, there are a lot of students out there, and they may be thinking of spring break, but having some trouble just kind of picking out the right destination.
Yeah, so of course we try to help you out there. Joining us live on the phone or live Skype now is actually Heather Hunter with AAA. And Heather, you know, of course, because we're talking about college students, let's talk about some, say, less expensive destinations.
There are some college students that can't afford, you know, a ship or even an airplane ticket. So there may be a lot of them driving. What are some good drivable spots?
There are some
Love that you mentioned those two, Heather, because I was always the one that was going for the colder spring breaks, looking for snow, go skiing, that kind of thing. I'm curious, though, if there's any one that just shines out as the top. Is there a top spring break destination in the U.S.?
Thank you so much, Heather Hunter. We appreciate talking to you and all the info from AAA.
All right, and speaking of spring break, that brings only one person in mind, meteorologist Mark Elliott. We won't tell anyone about that tape.
Ahead to tomorrow, by the way, and Sioux Falls 18 degrees above average. As we continue to go through time into Saturday, 60 in Minneapolis. Gotta love a number like that. And you can see Sioux City about 63. As we look towards Sunday, we're going to find two very warm conditions for some, and more that slides a bit to the south. So again, looking very good. And as you are one of the chillier spots, say in the Northeast, you can look for some changes too, because as we go into next week, look at Monday and also Tuesday, because that expanse here of all of the warmth is just covers so much of the country. And you know, Todd, I know we're just days now away from spring, but I tell you, I don't think we've had winter yet.
It really does.
Todd, and you know, with all that warm air around, it's been bringing out the frisky in our cat. But a lot of warm air is in store, and you know, with all of the mild weather we've had this winter, it probably doesn't surprise you to hear, you know, we have unfrozen lakes in the north, spring flowers, they've been blooming a month early. But you know, this mild winter has also led to something else that may be a bit of a shocker. Don't forget, female cats aren't doing the mild thing by themselves. It's also important to fix the boys. Besides, when you do that, they'll give all their love to you in any kind of weather. You know, I try to consider myself, you know, open-minded and tolerant. But Todd, you know, this is one of those things I don't understand when people do not get their cats or dogs fixed, because that's part of the responsibility of being a pet owner.
It really is, Heather. I completely hear you. I mean, if nothing else, Bob Barker's old message, spay and neuter your pets.
Yes.
Again, very important stuff. Meanwhile,
Todd, and coming up on Day Planner, there's a bit of a wintry mix. We're going to have
is going to
also served her country, and now she
space. After about 30 seconds, it dissipates and rises into the air. Kind of cool stuff, though. Kind of picturesque there. Hopefully, we don't see any circulation showing up with some of these thunderstorms today.
Oh, no, that's not something we want to see. But, you know, we are going to see a lot of action, and we can kind of break it down for you. We've got three areas really we're watching: the south, also the northeast, and then we're going to be watching this system working out of the west, driving in
space. After about 30 seconds, it dissipates and rises into the air. Kind of cool stuff, though. Kind of picturesque there. Hopefully, we don't see any circulation showing up with some of these thunderstorms today.
Oh, no, that's not something we want to see. But, you know, we are going to see a lot of action, and we can kind of break it down for you. We've got three areas really we're watching: the south, also the north.